Hey, thank you guys for joining and watching. This is going to be my revised version of the fake margarita. This is one I made a few months ago, and it kind of, as it dried, it started sinking. So I'm like, how can I do this and plus make it look a little more realistic? So here is one that I did a little more recently. Has chunks of strawberries in it, and it's more full, so it's not sinking. So I'm going to get started and show you what I did differently. So of course I have my margarita glass, the salt. In the previous video you could see how I did the salt. This one I already have done. Um, and it still uses the same things, the sand, the rocks. I bought the white rocks, and instead of using white rocks, I also painted them blue. And so when I add them, they will be a different color blue than what I made in the silicone. So okay, let's get started. So first, you're gonna put your silicone in the bowl so you can paint it with acrylic paint. You can make it any color you want. Obviously, this one today is going to be blue to replace this blue one that I have. Okay. And then before I change the color of it, I'm going to go ahead and add my sand. So sand, the more the better is what I found. I mean, you don't want it to be too grainy, but I don't measure it out. But I also found out that it makes it, that's part of why it's not sinking. And now I'm going to add my blue um, paint to make it the color blue that I want. Again, I don't really measure anything. We just kind of go with the flow. One thing I have learned that it does get a little darker as it dries. So keep that in mind as you're making them. Gonna add a little bit more blue. I know you can't really see, but it's very grainy, very gritty. Doesn't quite look like frozen, but once we add the rocks to it, that'll give it more texture. So then I take my rocks. Now I put all these rocks in this bowl and painted them, just mix the paint. So a lot of them are stuck together, obviously, when the paint dried. So I'm going to kind of just rub them together like this and help break them apart. And then if there's any two big pieces. Of course, it's supposed to be chunks of blueberries, so it's okay if there's some bigger pieces. And then we're going to mix that up together. Can't really see the rocks right now, but as you start putting it in the bowl or in the cup, you can see that you will be able to see them. I'm going to add just a little bit more. Again, add what you want. Um, I don't think you can go wrong either way. Just make it fun and try different things and see what happens. All right, so now I have my cup or my margarita glass. And then I'm just going to start spooning it in. Again, making sure that I push it down to get it down in the bottom of the cup. And just keep pushing it down. Once you get the cup full, then you can do what you want to with the top to make it, look like it's frosty in there. But you also want to go around the cup and make sure that it's touching all the sides. I always touch it with my gloved hand, but it'll wash off with water. So like I have a spot here, but I will wash it off with water. Okay, so now I have all of that in there. Let me move this out of the way. And now I'm just kind of pushing it down, making sure it's not running over the edges in anywhere. Try to make it as level as possible. So you can't see any of my rocks. So one of the things I'm going to do is, again, take a few more rocks. Because I want you to be able to see some of the rocks. So I'm just going to sprinkle them on top. Sprinkle them around. And then just use my spoon a little bit. Well, I'll probably just use my finger a little bit and press them down in there so they can dry in there. Now, I forgot to show you the chunks. Let me show you this one. The chunks that look like strawberry in this one was leftover silicone I had from making another one. So I have some here that I've just cut into pieces. So, because it's very pliable. And so I just take the scissors and I can cut it, or you can tear it into pieces because it's stretchy and it'll break. Just so you have some more chunks of blueberry. So then I'm going to just put these in here. Again, so it just looks like pieces of blueberry floating around in there. If you've ever made a margarita, you may not get all the chunks of berries out of it. Again, you can add what you want, how much you want. This is kind of up to you, how many chunks and pieces you want. I just wanted it to look a little more realistic, and I think this helped. Kind of touch them so maybe, they're not completely out of the silicone, and there may be a little bit of color on top of them, so it looks like they're a little more mixed. Then just add your, not one, just add your lime anywhere you want to add it. It'll go right over the salt. I kind of just push it up to that a little bit. And there. Have a little bit more realistic looking margarita compared to the one that I've made before. So thank you for watching my revised version, and see you next time.